Walk one, walk one, walk one, walk one, walk one, not the world. Walk one, walk one, walk one, walk one, walk one, not the world.
Yes, people, we're live and direct on the Big Bad Station, outradio.com. Okay, big shout out to everybody tuning in, loving the vibes. And of course, right now we've got a special guest joining us, okay? And of course, he's going to introduce himself, speak to you, let you know who he is, okay? So without further ado, please welcome our guest. You there?
Yeah, Harry, how we doing?
Yeah. So, of course, let the listeners know who you are and a little bit about yourself.
So my name is Shanwayne Stevens, and I'm the current bobsled pilot for the Jamaican Bobsled team.
Okay, woo. Okay, so how did that all come about? How did that happen? Tell us a little bit about the journey and how it got to that stage.
So my journey sort of started in the Royal Air Force.
Okay.
In the Royal Air Force, we have a bobsleigh team that we use for sort of like adventure training.
Yeah.
And then that's sort of how my journey started. So I started bobsleighing in 2015, and then in 2017 I got the opportunity to trial for the Jamaican national team.
Wow.
Out in Calgary, and I've been sliding for Jamaica ever since.
Wow.
And then now we're currently heading into qualification this year, well, at the end of this year, for Beijing 2022.
Wow, respect, man. Lots of people have been asking me to ask you, is it like the film Cool Runnings?
It is, yeah, it is very much like the film. It's cold all the time,
Okay.
snowing all the time, and it's just as fun as it looks.
Okay. But the ice though, yeah? Ice.
Yeah, there's a lot of ice.
Okay. So, you came to the UK, am I correct, when you were 11 years old from Jamaica?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Tell us about that journey and what you kind of remember.
I just sort of, I was 11 years old, so I can remember my mom saying like, "Oh, we're going on holiday to England."
Yeah.
And then we came on holiday, we were here, and then next thing I know, I was going into secondary school. But it wasn't sort of like that. My mom started studying.
Wow.
And then that's when we sort of started. She got the opportunity to study in the UK, and then we just carried on, and we've been living in the UK ever since. And then got our British residency, and then now we're British citizens. So.
Wow, respect, man. And of course, what made you want to join the Royal Air Force?
It's more the opportunity that there was within the Air Force. Like, I've always wanted to sort of do things that I'd never get the opportunity to do, go places that I'd never get the opportunity to go.
Yeah.
And the RAF was a brilliant platform for that. So That's why I sort of joined the Royal Air Force.
Yeah, and what kind of role did you play? Like, what was your kind of duties and specialising in?
Okay, so I'm an RAF regiment gunner.
Okay.
So we're sort of force protection for the Royal Air Force.
Wow.
And then within that, there's a ceremonial unit called the Queen's Colour Squadron. Okay. So I was on the Queen's Colour Squadron. So we do like all the parades around Buckingham Palace and stuff like that.
Wow. So do you enjoy it? You must enjoy it.
Yeah, I really do enjoy it. Like I said, we get to do so many things that you wouldn't get to do in normal everyday life, and see people and meet and go to different places and stuff like that. So yeah, I absolutely love it.
Wow. Okay. And then I know you spoke a little bit earlier about bobsledding and so forth, but how did that actual opportunity come about? Why did they ask you to do it?
So one of the coaches within the Air Force happened to know the Jamaica head coach at the time.
Okay.
And then they got talking, and they were like, "Oh, I've got a young Jamaican lad that's sliding for us, and he's doing really well." Yeah. And then that's how I got the call to go to Jamaica to for the trials.
Wow. Okay. And what did it feel like? Tell us a little bit about the experience and what you were feeling.
It was a bit surreal. Okay. Because the first time I slid for Jamaica was in Calgary.
Wow.
And it's the same place Jamaica slid for the first time in 1988. So it was a bit of a surreal moment. It's almost like my own version of starting my own journey.
Wow.
But at the same place they started their journey. So yeah, it was a bit of a, oh, I can't believe I'm actually doing this. But once I got doing it, I absolutely loved it. And then, well, I must have loved it because I'm still sliding for the team now. So
Okay. And who else, is in your team?
so we have a lot of our athletes in Jamaica as well.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, with the COVID pandemic, there have been so many restrictions on travel, so they've not been able to come out with us this season.
Yeah.
So I had to recruit some new athletes within the UK.
Okay.
And they play rugby sevens for Jamaica. So
Wow.
we're actually leaving 12 o'clock tonight to drive out to Austria.
Wow. You're not busy then?
Yeah, always busy.
For real. And then, of course, you spoke about Beijing, the Olympics. What kind of training are you guys doing? Because I see you on Instagram doing lots of different training. But tell the listeners a little something about it.
Yeah, so a lot of our training is sort of power based, a lot of big heavy lifting and a lot of sprinting. So we do a lot of athletics work and then obviously a lot of gym work. But during the pandemic, when all the gyms and stuff were closed, we had to be a little bit more creative in how we train. So myself and one of the other athletes that were locked down in the same house together, we went out pushing a car up and down the street, sort of getting that resistance training on our legs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We had to make weights out of cement and stuff like that in the garden. So yeah, we had to be quite creative.
You know what? I seen some video on TikTok with you and Alison Hammond. That was a video, man.
Yeah, no, she's an absolutely amazing person. Like just meeting her in person, like you see her on television and she's real bubbly and stuff, but then you actually meet her in real life and she's even more bubbly.
Okay.
So, no,
for real.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Definitely. And so what's next for you? What would you like to do? I know you're going for the Olympics, but what else would you like to do or achieve?
So at the moment I'm a Lance Corporal, so I'm sort of like a non-commissioned officer. So for me, I'd like to sort of push across to the other side and go to the commissioned officer side. Okay. And sort of progress that way.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. And of course, for a lot of people that are locked in, what kind of advice could you give them in this time, but also because it seems like you just go for it, you just do what you need to do. But what kind of advice could you give some of the listeners out there?
Just to stay positive. Yeah. I know it's harder, it's easier said than done, but it's just finding just that one little thing that interests you that might just pick you up a little bit. Just like, I don't know, listen to some old songs that you used to like, or watch some old movies that you never that you haven't seen in a long time. Just little things like that gives you that little bit of pick me up, and then just keep a positive mind, really. For
real. And what do you like to do, like in your spare time, if you ever get any spare time?
Yeah, with bobsleighing there isn't really a lot of spare time, because in the summer we're doing a lot of training and stuff. But I'm a keen shooter, so I do a lot of clay pigeon shooting, and my fiance's dad, he's a semi-professional clay shooter as well, so we go out and do a lot of clay shooting and stuff like that.
Wow, okay. And do you compete in that as well?
No, not clay shooting.
You never know. You never know.
Maybe once I stop bobsleighing.
Okay, that doesn't seem like it's going to happen. It's not gonna happen, man. And of course, I've seen some of the scores like on Instagram and that, and you're reaching like the top of the board. Like, yeah, crazy.
Yeah, we're improving. Like we do have our struggles, but we have phenomenal athletes, and that's the one thing with the Jamaican team or any Jamaican team. We always have phenomenal athletes.
Yeah.
But sometimes we do struggle in terms of like financially and getting funding and backing and stuff like that. Okay. So that's sort of like our only downfall. But we perform with what we like anybody who wants to achieve anything. We use whatever the tools we have to achieve the best that we can.
Yeah.
And that's what we do. We go out, we give it our 100% all the time, and it shows in our performance.
For real, definitely. And you know, obviously, the film. We've got to keep going back to the film for some reason. They have a motto before they, you know, go down the ice. How about you guys? Do you guys have a motto before you go down, or a saying that you guys do?
Not at the moment. Not at the moment. I'm sure the guys will come up with something just before the games.
So you don't kiss the egg then? You don't kiss the egg?
Keep it interesting. As long as you say that, because one of our guys actually does carry an egg with him.
Does he?
Yeah, I've got one guy who actually does carry an egg with him.
Wow, I'm surprised it don't break.
No, it's only a little plastic egg.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he always slides with his egg.
For real, wow, blessings for him. And of course, you know, what kind of music do you like? I got a question coming through to ask you what music you like.
I like all sorts of music.
Okay.
All sorts. Yeah, I go from country all the way to rock, all the way to reggae, dancehall, hip hop. I like it all.
Okay, but you know there must be a tune where, like, no matter what occasion you play it.
One of my favorite tunes is "Redemption" song by Bob Marley.
Okay, I like that vibe. And why that song? Why that one for you?
I don't know. It's just one of them songs where it's just every time I listen to it, I feel like a little bit more relaxed and calm and easy.
Yeah.
It just sort of makes your worries go away. I don't know. It's just one of them songs that do that to me.
For real, definitely. I know what you mean, man. And of course, you know, how can they watch you, you know, when you guys are performing and things like that? How can people go about, you know, following you on social media and seeing what you're up to?
Yeah, so if you follow me on Instagram at JamBobShan, and then in order to watch the races, they're on YouTube. So if you go to the IBSF, type in IBSF into YouTube, and then all the races and stuff will come up on there.
Okay. And when's your next race? So hopefully people can support you and show some love.
So the next race will be... So we're racing next week, but that one won't be televised. But the week after, that one will be televised. So that one will be on YouTube the week after.
Okay. And, you know, if you send me some details or anything like that, we can share it out for real, yeah?
Yeah, sure.
Definitely. And is there any kind of final thoughts you want to say to the listeners out there before we go?
Just stay happy, stay positive, and hopefully 2021 will be a better year.
Definitely, for real. And you know what? It's a blessing to be speaking with you. And any races that you got, I hope you come at the top of the board and smash it.
All right. Thank you very much.
No worries. Speak soon, yeah?
All right.
All right. Bless.
Thank you.
No worries. Bye-bye. Bye. Yes, people, please do go and support Shanwayne, okay? Anytime you see him, anytime you want to support him, go and support him. And of course, we've got to play this little song for him. Big shout out to everybody who's been showing lots of love, lots of messages, okay? Big shout out to you each and every time. This tune, it goes like this. Here we go.
Jamaica, we have a bobsled team. Everyone says that we buy stuff cheap, like 30 old Suzuki and rusted out Jeep. When hurricane comes, we climb into tree. Jamaica, we have a bobsled team. We only wear clothes and have jewelry. Jamaica, we have a bobsled team. We eat jerk chicken and puff a lot of weed. Jamaica, we have a bobsled team. Have dreadlocks and we wear beanie caps. We say only man and never say chap. Asphalt, so we have good streets. Jamaica, we have a bobsled team. We live in huts with no air conditioning. Jamaica, we have a bobsled team. We believe in Jah and only drink ting. Jamaica, we have a bobsled team. Because the big sun, our skin really dark. We swim at night, get eaten by shark. Our water comes from wells or ocean for free. Jamaica, we have a bobsled team. have a bobsled team. We smoke a lot of